Hello YouTube, it's White Cheddar coming to you from the hub city of Western Oklahoma, Clinton, Oklahoma, and I'm taking my 30. How about you YouTube, you got it on? That's good, I hope you do. It's been a while since I've been able to talk to you guys. Been really busy. I think the last time I recorded a video was way back in February, way back around Valentine's Day. I watched that last video, and I don't know. I just think I was sick or something. Anyway, yeah, been a while. Been 4 or 5 months. It's end of June, fixing to be 1st of July. July 4th coming up. So I thought I better get back on here and record for you guys. Been really busy. Been pretty hectic, which ain't no big deal for Cheddar. You know, I'm always hooked up and doing something, hustling. But yeah, I was trying to do 3 videos a week on you know, taking my 30, which it's not no big deal. You know, as a truck driver, you got to take a 30-minute break before 8 hours. Before 8 hours, and that's when I would record these videos. So you know, I'd take a little time for myself and actually take a break instead of recording a video and you know, all that. But I think I was recording 3 videos a week, and the reason I did that, and if y'all know who I am, you know, I appreciate you watching. I try to do a lot of stuff, and there's a reason for that, is because if you don't try new stuff, if you don't put it out there, if you don't, you know, throw the gear in the back of the truck and go do the job, then you're just not going to do it. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, is my mindset. And it's not that 24/7 grind mindset that a lot of YouTubers have, that you just got to keep grinding, keep doing stuff. The key to it all is being efficient and being productive with your time. So you know, when I was recording 3 videos a week, I was you know, I had my times for editing video. Of course, you know, when I take my break at work, I'd record a video. And I learned through that, I set a campaign out to where, you know, let's do this for a month, 3 videos a week for a month. That was my goal, and I achieved that goal. But man, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Not just recording these videos. This isn't really hard. It's just me talking. But you know, you get back to the casa, and you gotta throw that video on your computer. You gotta wait for the little loading screens to spin. You gotta load up your editor. You gotta get in there and cut and paste and edit, and you know, I found out that editing videos is a little bit more time intensive than I thought it would. So 3 videos just wasn't cutting it out. It's kind of, you know, I gave it hell for a month, and it started to kind of just wear on me, you know. And I've been hustling for a long time, and I know when my body or my mind is getting a little overworked, which it ain't no big deal, but I didn't want to do that for a long period of time. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to kind of recalibrate things and do some research, you know, maybe throw in a few other ideas of stuff I could do, and come up with a new campaign, a new game plan for what I want to do. So that's what I did. I took 4 or 5 months off. Of course, my son, he's out of school now, so I've been spending a lot of time with him, going out to the lake. I got my Oklahoma State permit to park at a park now, so I can just go out to the lake whenever I want, go swimming, just go for a hike, do some fun stuff with him. So we've been doing that. But yeah, I got some big news coming here in a week or 2. I'm still working on it, still working on the production value of it. What I'm doing is starting a new podcast. I'm going to keep this podcast, but I'm going to move it back to, maybe once or twice a week, because I do like doing these on my break, because sometimes I take a break and I sit there with just a numb mind, and I just maybe shut my eyes, pull my hat down and take a little 30-minute nap. But I do like doing these videos. It's just I have to kind of be in the right frame of mind to do it. So with that said, I do have a new podcast coming out, and it'll be in a few weeks. And what I want to do is create a podcast that helps people in Western Oklahoma, or wherever you're at out there in YouTube land, wherever you're at. If you live in a rural area, this podcast is going to be the podcast for you, because I talk a lot about self-sustaining, gardening, just these things that you can build into your life that can help you live a better life. I got some inspiration from a lot of different podcasts from over the years, and I thought, I could probably take a little bit out of this podcast I like, a little bit out of that podcast I like. I've thrown a few trial videos. They're going to be a little bit longer format. They'll hopefully be around an hour to 2 hours. Of course, I always want to have guests on the show to bullshit with, because I like bouncing ideas off other people, and that's what this is, and that's what I was trying to say about the new podcast taking a break and then recalibrating. Is I want to I have an idea, and a lot of people are like, man, you have so many fucking ideas, you're always coming up with something. You got the eBay store, you got this, you got that, and I'm always trying these new things. I'm always trying to build new stuff, but I have 1,000 ideas a day. I mean, and it's as easy as taking your phone, you just voice record your idea in there, then you can think about it later and plan it out, and but I have people all the time telling me they have great ideas. I got a great idea, I'm gonna do this. But ideas aren't shit. Ideas aren't shit until you put it to action. And that's what I want to talk today, is actually putting it to action. Take your idea and actually do fucking something with it. So over the past month or so, I started a new Facebook page. It's White Cheddar Official. So look me up on Facebook, make sure to add me. I've been writing a lot of articles on life where it comes to whatever, trucking to permaculture to what's going on in the world around me, the markets, just a little bit of everything in there. But it's all topics that I like to talk about, and it's all topics that I think can help other people out, because they may not know, right? If you don't know, you don't know. So that's why I like YouTube's great, and these podcasts are great. I listen to a lot of different ones. I work 14 hours truck driving, so it gives me plenty of time to listen to other people's ideas, listen to what they're doing, and I see a big change in YouTube. I see a big change in the world, in the United States, and where these grassroots movements, these people are just linking up, collaborating, getting together, and they're creating beautiful art, and they're creating beautiful networks of ideas. And then they can take these ideas and they can put action behind it. They get other people and they can put some action behind it, and really start making little movements. And that's what we need in America, is we need to tune out all that noise, all that Fox News or CNN or whatever you listen to. As a truck driver, I started out young. I tuned into the local radio station here, Harold Wright's radio station. It's a talk radio, Republican bullshit, and I dug it, man. I dug into that stuff, man. I was researching. This is before the cell phones. You could really watch videos or anything, but you'd listen to that radio and you'd listen to these hosts tell you about how bad this is and how good this person is and this person, and it's all bullshit. They're all just trying to sell you some fucking strawberries or something. Sean Hannity, man, he drove me nuts. I listened to that crap for about 2 years, and I'm telling you, I got into it. I was a young Republican conservative. I'm on the right. I'm on the ride. I'm gonna change this world, you know. And it just takes hard work and blah blah blah, you know. It's just a bunch of fucking business people selling you crap. And if you're into that, if you're listening to that on the radio every day, you're fucking getting brainwashed, man. You're out there. You've done left reality. But sadly, that's what happens in our small rural towns, and it's I can see it now, you know, 20 years later, because I did it for a year or two, got into it, you know. I went to the rallies and supported my candidate, and screw their candidate. They're wearing blue shirts. They're terrible, but you know, they're just as bad. They just have a little bit, you know, cooler water or something, you know. It's you know, having a two-party system in America sucks, because it once you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's just all about money. It's just all about rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer and being exploited. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the people that don't really realize they're fucking getting exploited. You know, it didn't take me long. It took me about a year or two to realize that, you know, like, I'm registered a Republican because when I left, or when I was a senior in high school, they were like, let's go down to the tag office and get you registered. And you had to pick a team, red or blue. And of course, in rural western Oklahoma, it's deep red out here. I think the whole state voted red, or every county was red, you know, in this last election. And that just tells you where I'm at. But I'm not afraid to just sit here and say what I think. And what I'm telling you is it's all bullshit. You know, we don't have any good candidates, either Republican, Democrat. There are no good candidates, and you look at this government system and the lobbying and everything that goes into it, and just tune all that shit out. Turn on YouTube. Find a creator that you like. Find somebody that's doing something that you like doing, and mimic them. And educate yourself on it. You got ChatGPT now, you got other large language models. You can learn anything in the world. I went through a lawsuit not too long ago, and you know, it was just a civil trial. It was a debt collection lawsuit. It was a demo bill that I thought we had settled and paid off like 4 years ago. And you know, they call you up and they're like, hey, you owe us some money. And I'm like, who the hell are you? You know, and they tell me, and it's for this dentist office. And I'm like, well, hell, that was like fucking 5 years ago. So I'm immediately on GPT looking up statute of limitations, blah blah blah, and then down the rabbit hole I go. I learned law. I learned how to write motions. I learned how to, you know, and you know, the thing with law is it takes a long time. It takes, you know, 4, 5, 6 months to get through a civil trial, if you're, you know, because it's a lot of back and forth and discovery and everything else. But you know, 10 years ago I would have never been able to do that. You know, I would have just been like, okay, here you go, you know. But no, there's a whole world out there now, and just because you live in dark red rural Oklahoma doesn't mean that you have to be a dumb country bumpkin. Turn on that phone and learn something. Don't turn on that phone, watch TikTok for 5 hours. That's just brain rot, you know. Watch a video, watch an hour-long video, and then spend the next 8 hours researching, asking questions. I have a headset. I got my, you know, Bluetooth, so I can just sit there and talk. I talk to robots more than I do people, because I work nights. I work overnights for fast food delivery. I load up their stores, so I don't get to see anybody all night, you know. So I keep my tribe pretty small, the people around me pretty small that I do talk to. And you know, what I started to realize is, like, you can fucking learn anything. Like, if you want to know how to set a Carolina rig on your pole when you go fishing, there's a YouTube video for it. You want to know how to change the lawnmower blade on your push mower, there's a YouTube video for it. If you want to learn how to create a movement and get people to collaborate and get people to start investing in themselves instead of these fucking companies, there's a video for it. and hopefully that's what this new podcast is going to be for people. It's a little bit of everything like that, but what I'm going to teach you, what I'm going to talk about is learning shit and learning good stuff. Stuff that'll save you money, stuff that'll make you money, stuff that will bring you tighter into your tribe. Because you know, you might say I'm a MAGA Republican and I'm a part of a movement. Nah, you're just being sold to. They're just selling you an idea, and you're going right there drinking the Kool-Aid doing it. Or they're, you know, I'm a Democrat and I'm in the, you know, No Kings movement, and that's great. If you want to support that stuff, I'm not telling you not to, but all I'm saying is it's corporate backed, it's lobbyist backed, and you're going to spin your wheels, and you're going to get no traction at all joining big organizations like that they just, you're not even a number to them. You know, you're just, you know, someone to sell something to. And I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I really don't. You know, I've seen this stuff a long times, and a lot of times you try to tell people, hey, like, tune that shit out. You know, when they get all defensive and they're, hey, you just don't care, you just don't care enough, or you're just not doing enough. Or I do plenty, but what I do is for my neighbors. What I do is for my community and around me. And it goes back to that old saying about thinking globally but acting locally. And you got to realize that you got to help out small businesses down the street. You got to, you know, tune out all these Walmart corporations and you know, PepsiCo and all these big corporations. You just got to tune all that shit out and work local, and work with your neighbors, and work with your small tribe, and use the technology to bring it all together. So with that said, please go check out my Facebook page, because it's not even a lot of work. Like, I can whip out, I can write an article, have GPT go through, do some edits for me, make sure it's getting the point across that I need to get across. I don't want to say I sit here and write every fucking article I write. I write a majority of it. I talk it into my phone, and then it's voice to text, and then I've also got text to voice that I use. But the technology is amazing. You can just, you know, you can just create this stuff, and you can use the GPTs and large language models to just calibrate your message, and to get it more defined and more to the point, and more marketable for where people listen to it. So go check me out on Facebook. It's White Cheddar Official, same as the YouTube channel here. I'd really appreciate a like or a follow, and I hope you enjoy my articles I write. If when I start making this new video, you'll notice that on that White Cheddar Official page I'll write articles 3-4 times a day, but at the end of the week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile those into a show, and they kind of work. All my articles kind of coincide. You know, I'll run 3 or 4 different segments on that. So yeah, check that out. That's kind of going to be the home base for now. I'm working on a web page. Like I said, I'm taking this production level up to the next level. I'm actually building a website. It's going to have advertisements on it for local businesses I got, but I don't want to support you know, McDonald's. I don't want to support Dollar General. I don't want to support the local franchise gas stations. You know, I want to support the food truck down the street. When I go get that big bomb burrito from Maria's Food Cart, and it comes with a Fanta and, you know, some cheesecake, that's who I want to do work with. That's who the businesses I want to work with. You got a lawn care business, I don't care. I seen one today, a dude's out there hustling in this 100-degree heat, painting curbs for local businesses, painting addresses on the curbs for residentials. This dude's out there just hustling. You know, he's got his little Facebook ad. He's available to, you know, you just leave a message, hey, can you come by, do this, you know, he'll get back with you. Those are the businesses I want to work with. So, you know, no offense, but you got a local tire shop, or you got a local you know, restaurant or whatnot, I can give you a shout out, you know, but I'm really interested and people's local hustles that they do, because I'm starting to see, as the technology gets better, more and more people taking their sovereignty back, their freedom to make money, to earn incomes, to build community. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this new podcast. It's called Surviving Capitalism. And the reason I chose that name is because that's what it feels like I've been doing for the last 35 years, is just fucking surviving capitalism. And I know you feel it. And a lot of times we live in these bubbles. You know, you might live in a small town like Hydro or Colony's little, you know, maybe 1,000 people in that town, where you're living kind of in a bubble and you're never really getting out of that bubble. You might take a vacation once or twice a year, road trip, but you're not seeing the world, you know, how it is, because the people around you, you know, the economy. Out here in Western Oklahoma, we're a pretty poor area of the country. There's not a whole lot of high-paying jobs out here. That's why I'm a truck driver. Is just, you know, I had to do a lot of hard work for a long time just to get what I have, and it's not much. I don't have much, but you don't know you're poor when you're around poor, right? You don't know that, you know, my struggles could be completely different than somebody living in Oklahoma City's struggle, you know. I'm seeing this, that these people all around the United States are just living in these bubbles, and they're like, well, it's not so bad, you know, I'm getting by, it's tough, but I'll keep working for Walmart and they'll move me up to a manager, and then, you know, they might transfer me over to you know, Texas somewhere, a little bit bigger town. Maybe I'll make some more money. You're not. You're gonna make the same damn money, and working your way up this company ladder that they have always touted to us. You can't have that mindset, because right there you're living in a bubble. You don't understand that there's more that you could do. There's a whole lot more that you can do, and all it takes is a little elbow grease, a little collaboration with people around you, a little, you know, just grit to get it done. I mean, it's a little bit harder work, but hell, you know, what else you gonna do? You gonna keep watching the TikToks and propping up these big companies, and you know, that's not it. That's not it, fam. You need to start building local, and you need to start getting in good with your neighbors. And I've always said that since day one. You know, this world would be a lot better place if we just took care of the people around us. Take care of your neighbor. You know, just the little things. You know, you got a mower that, you know, his lawnmower busted down. Help him out. Loan him your mower. You know, you see a neighbor that's fence blew over. Help him out. You know, I had some help with an old boy that lived in town. I don't have a sprayer for my grass, and weeds were getting out of control in my front and my side yards, and he loaned me his little pump sprayer so I could go out and get my yard sprayed, so the weeds just didn't get too fucking crazy. Of course, they're coming back, but I got a solution for that too, you know, and that's some other stuff I'm going to talk about. Is you know, I quit gardening for about 3 or 4 years. Life got busy. I worked for Frito-Lay, and I worked for these, you know, these big fucking corporations, and it's just a rat race, you know, and you get off work, oh, I gotta mow and I gotta do this, and it just seemed like there was never fucking time to get to gardening. So I kind of put it on the back burner, but I started back this spring. I started some seeds inside, just because I used to garden back in the day, and that was my peace, you know. I could go outside and go in my garden, you know, and even if it was just pulling some weeds or doing a little bit of water, and it brought me some serenity, and it kind of centers you. And I had forgotten about that, and since I've done that, since February, since my last video, and I've been practicing these things every week, of getting back into these routines of gardening, and getting back into my eBay, and just making plans and building. I feel so much better. I just feel the stress just coming down. It's like, it's great, you know, because what I'm doing is I'm working locally, and I'm working with people I love, and I'm doing the things that I'd love to do. So of course I'm going to be happy. So I got some big changes coming up here in another 2 weeks, a month, the podcast, maybe a few other things going to be going down. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm of course not going to be doing 3 videos a week, but I will, keep you in the loop of what's going on. If you really want to know what's going on, you check my Facebook page out, White Cheddar Official. That's where it's at right there, because I drop every day. I drop 2 or 3 posts a day on there, just of what's going on. It's kind of like my way of just spitting my ideas out into the ether, and so far it's been getting some good traction, and people have really been digging it. So yeah, check out White Cheddar Official on Facebook. Tuned out the Instagram for now. It's just a little bit too complicated. I think the Reels on Instagram is where it's at, of viewership and getting people to Tanya. I'm not trying to build a 1 million person channel or nothing. I'm just trying to get in contact with my local people, my Western Oklahoma people, and if you're from anywhere else in the United States, I appreciate you watching. A lot of what I say is completely and totally relevant if you live in rural South Carolina, and back up in the holler. It's the things I'm going to be talking about is great for you too. So if you're watching from outside of Western Oklahoma, I appreciate it. Just keep watching. Maybe we can collab. Maybe we can maybe we can build different little networks all across the country, and we can start getting back to our grassroots, because that's what we got to do, guys. We got to tune out all this fucking noise of this politics and these wars and these these cocksuckers that fucking just want to they just want to add another zero on the ledger. They just want it a little bit more. It's not enough that they fucking have everything. They want a little bit more. So don't be that person. Don't be that person that argues on Facebook about this and that. I catch myself all the time. But people, they call me out on. They're like, well, they call me a Democrat all the time, because I'm usually getting on MAGA because they got the biggest microphone. So I'm usually like, shut the fuck up. But in reality, I don't support any of those parties. I never have. I mean, after I was the young Republican club, fuck all that. I tune all that out, and I like to poke fun at them every now and then, because people take it so serious. They take their politics so serious, that I'm right, you're wrong, and then you get into trolling, and that's another hobby of mine that I've kind of got to scale back and just go on, because the trolling don't really do nothing. It's just it's a dopamine deal or something, so tune that back a little bit, get back into my creative route is where I've been working, and I hope to see you guys on my Facebook page and watching these videos. If you do like these videos, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button down below. You can click that bell notification. Will alert you on the phone whenever I drop a new video. I do a live now on my day off. It's usually early in the morning, Central Time. I usually do it around 5 or 6 in the morning on my day off. And what I'm doing is I'm listing on my eBay store, making new listings of stuff that I'm reselling. And that is live. So if you want to tune in on that, click that bell notification. It'll let you know when I'm going live. And I've done a couple already, and I'll be doing another one here in a few days. I took on a little extra work this week, me, working for my buddy an extra day, so I only get 1 day off, or I only get about 24 hours off this week. Then I got to roll back right into the next week. So yeah, staying pretty busy, but I'm hoping to drop a gear here for too long, maybe get out a truck, I don't know. Just throwing around some ideas. Me and Queen Lizzie's got some ideas of what we want to do, but ultimately I'm getting to the point to where I kind of want to drop a gear and maybe work a little more local. I don't have to work 14 hours every day. It's I've done it for a long time. I like work. It don't bother me, but at some point I think I gotta drop a gear a little bit and start spending a little bit more time with the family and friends, and going to the lake and fishing, stuff like that. Go skiing out the lake. But yeah, so going to try to make a few decisions about that here coming down the pipe. But for now, for sure, Surviving Capitalism podcast will be dropping in a few weeks. like I said, I'm still working on a lot of the production value, because I do want it to have some good production value to it and actually bring something profitable to your life. And it don't cost nothing. You know, you just like, subscribe, and watch my videos, and go to the Facebook page, the White Cheddar Official on Facebook, and like me on there, and you'll learn a lot more about who I am, what I do from there. So anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. You know, that's another thing, working 14 hours. I mean, when I record these videos, the reason you're seeing wrinkles and I look like I'm stoned or something is because I'm tired, man. I just got done working for 14 hours. So yeah, hopefully can drop gear and do some more production value videos coming up. So hope to see you guys there. Hope you like, subscribe, tune in. As always, you know, keep your head on a swivel, keep the shiny side up, and I'll talk to you later.